Hello everyone, I'm Laurie Radke with the Greater Green Bay Chamber. Thank you so much for joining us today for another community conversation. What a privilege today. I had the opportunity to sit down with Luigi Lazzareschi, and he is the CEO of Sofidel Group. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Hello everyone, and thank you again for joining us with another community conversation. It's such a special day today. Joining me is Luigi Lazzareschi, President and CEO of Sofidel. So welcome, Luigi.
Thanks for inviting me here.
What a pleasure to have you here, and it's going to be a joy just to have a conversation and learn a little bit more about Luigi as well as the organization that you lead. And maybe we can start with this real simple question to start out and learn a little bit more about what prompted you and your organization to begin Sofidel in America back in 2012?
We arrived here, after, let's say, 40 years of doing business in Europe. We have, this is a very fast growing company, but in Europe, we already have a quite strong position. It was impossible to continue with a fast growth. So we look at several areas, other continents, but then we decided that the US, for several reasons, was the best place where to make an investment because of culture, because of, at the end, the language, laws. Focusing on US, we visit several areas of the country, and we talk with many competitors that on those days eventually they were keen to sell. We arrived, it was maybe July 2012 in Orlando, and they booked for us an hotel inside Buena Vista. And as you know, at the entrance of Buena Vista, the Walt Disney Center, there is a sign that says, where all dreams come true. So for me, I said, this is a sign. And then we bought the company that was based there in Orlando. Actually, that company, other than having the main corporate and the main activities in Orlando, had two other factories. One in very close to Las Vegas in Nevada, and one actually over here. So in Green Bay. So we are celebrating 10 years anniversary in US, but actually our 10 years anniversary here in Green Bay.
Wow. Well, and we're thrilled that you're here in Green Bay and in the United States.
Yeah.
What can you share with our viewers about the success you're experiencing here in America?
The company has been pretty successful, I have to say. We started with a relatively small acquisition, and today probably we are number 7 in US. Actually, the company, just to give you an idea, is the second company in Europe, the 5th worldwide, and 7, let's say, we are number 7 here in US. We have grown very, very fast. We have invested quite a lot on acquisition, but also on 2 main green fields that we have. Our experience has been very good, so challenging from time to time, especially in this period, where there are many difficulties, very high inflation, and lack of labors. That is generalized all over the nation.
Absolutely. Luigi, can you share with us really how many employees?
Do we have?
Yes, please.
Now, worldwide, we have almost 7,000 people. Here in US, 1,700. And we are growing. Yes, it's a big responsibility at the end.
Absolutely. Luigi, during your tenure, can you share with us what kind of changes you've seen in your industry?
There are several areas in which our industry has changed. One, technological-wise, for sure, the productivity and the speed of the machine. Probably, if we compare the speed of a machine today with the machine that was 30 years ago, probably it's 10 times higher.
Wow.
So productivity is 10 times what it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. for sure, also the technology moved toward a much more cleaner way of producing, and also with lower, let's say, fiber, lower energy, lower water consumption. So it improved for the better. And also big changes is that this is becoming, even tissue is becoming more and more global business. Fewer and fewer producer, suppliers, but also the market has changed. Big supermarket chain are, some of them are global. You have to serve them wherever eventually they are. And that, I mean, is really challenge. Plus, recently, our industry too, as many others, have been influenced by the change in the consumer behavior on way they are buying. Now I'm thinking about the e-commerce. So also our business has been affected by e-commerce. There is more and more people that they're buying our products. And that is going to change a lot the industry. It's going to be changed the way we are producing today, and also the way we are going to serve our customers. So logistics, transportation are going to change significantly in the near future.
Well, and I'm sure you'll be prepared for that. And we're talking about the future. Could you share what really lies for the future of Sofidel here in Green Bay and nationwide?
Yes. I mean, the strategy here in US for Sofidel is to grow with the growth of the private label, so labels of our customers. And we are dedicated mainly to serve national customers. In order to be competitive, serving the whole nation, you need to be close where consumption is. So you cannot have a big entities, I don't know, in the middle of the country and serve it, because our product is very light in weight, very bulky. Transportation and logistic costs will be extremely high. So the idea that we have already implemented is to have pretty big, but not enormous sites, but placed in order to minimize logistic and transportation costs. Today we have 6 operations in US. Pretty, I mean, 3 of them, let's say, have quite a decent size. I imagine in the future we will need a few more. But Green Bay is still going to be a key, especially to serve the Midwest market.
Well, I appreciate you sharing some of your strategy and all the strategic thinking that goes into that.
It's not a big secret.
It's not a secret. So, Luigi, could you share with us some of Sofidel's environmentally friendly principles?
Yeah, I mean, sustainability wasn't born yesterday in this company. I cannot say that is in our DNA, because probably it's not true, and probably something that other companies are saying, so I'm not saying it. Let's say that we are doing it seriously since 2008.
Okay.
When we started a program that was called Climate Savers, that was a volunteer program under the ownership of WWF. From that day onward, we have dedicated mainly to 3 areas. One is forest, the other has to do with climate change, and the other is water. Today, I believe we are one of the lowest consumer of water, and we decrease significantly the amount of CO2 that is one of the gas that is responsible for climate change, minimizing as much as possible the usage of fossil fuel at the end. And all our fibers are 100% certified with the most important certification schemes. Then recently we have added another goal that is to limit as much as possible, and actually the goal is to decrease by 50% the usage of single-use plastic. So as you know, most of our products are wrapped with polythene plastic that you use and you throw it. So we have started 3 years ago, mainly. In Europe, we are also producing under our own brand. Most of our branded products today are wrapped with paper. And we prefer paper to plastic because paper is a renewable resource, is biodegradable, is compostable, and easy, and is much easier to recycle than plastic. For that reason, we believe is the right solution to the virgin plastic.
Wow, that's wonderful. I'm going to pivot a little bit away from Sofidel and really talk about you. And could you share a little bit about your upbringing and how that shaped who you are today and the type of leader that you are?
Yeah, this is a family-owned business, so I belong to the second generation. So my father, together with another guy, Stefaniemi, that actually passed away 10 days ago, more or less. So I come to this business after having been studying, actually at my master's degree here in the US. So I spent 3 of my best years in South Carolina.
Oh, you did?
Columbia, South Carolina, yes.
Maybe we should learn a little bit about that.
Yeah, it is one of the reasons why I always like to come to the US and do something here. I think I owe it to the country.
Wow, that's wonderful. Just in closing, how did you end up in Green Bay? I know it was way of acquisition, but why Green Bay?
Green Bay has to be, I believe, a place where everybody in this industry has to be. We arrived here through acquisition, but as we were saying before, we have been so happy of being in Green Bay that we made a second acquisition. We acquired most of the assets of a company that is called Green Bay Converting. So the dimension of the previous one has been multiplied by 5-6 times. So, but still, I believe. There are, and I said before, to serve the Midwest region of US, we need to be in this area. But also, the last point, I think is a very important point. Everybody is here. All the major competitors are in competitor, but not only our competitors, but also most of the machine producers. So all the supply chain is present here in Green Bay. So, in my opinion, it's a must to be here in Green Bay if you are a tissue producer.
Fantastic. Luigi, thank you for your time today. We're so grateful for your investment in Greater Green Bay, and we're here to support you any way we can, and I appreciate your time today.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. A special thank you to 335 for providing such a beautiful venue for us to have our community conversation. Thank you to Chris and all his staff.